lost audio. What happened? Okay. Um, we are 2 days before scheduled closing end of the second closed beta test. Last video I showed some of the, I guess, new features with the citizenship and with the crafting systems. And after that, though, honestly, I filmed a few videos, and really, honestly, not a lot for me to really go over with. As you can see, I'm level 25. Didn't exactly get to the goals that I was hoping. I was hoping to at least get to a ranger, but that's going to be part of what I'm going to be discussing in this video. Just foreword on that. Hopefully some of my thought processes do come clear and they do make sense, but ultimately I'm just going to go over some of the things that stood out to me from this playtest and 5 really big things that I think will definitely help out the game and will definitely make things go forward here. This should be a little bit of a shorter video as it's just mostly just like a thoughts and ramble, but ultimately, my things that I want to say is that I had a great time with this playtest. It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of people through here. A lot of fun memory. I will say memories. A lot of fun moments when I ran into them a few times. KPQ, which I'll go over that a little bit later. Just had a really good time just gathering everybody and talking and chilling. A little bit later today, the 100 testing comes out. I'll probably test a couple of characters that I'm interested in, but namely White Knight, Bowmaster, Crossbowman, classes like that. But ultimately, I am just kind of chilling and just walking around. Express my thoughts. So, the first thing that I want to go over is that there's definitely a hierarchy with classes in this game, and obviously everybody knows that the assassin is Nexon's favorite, the rogue class. And honestly, they're eating pretty good. Every assassin that I've seen has been insane, even without having access to really good stars until much later into the playtest. First set of Steelies were found yesterday as of this recording, for what I understand. So, not a lot of access to stars, and they're still pumping out a lot of damage. I would say, honestly, Chief Bandit too, or bandits in general. They look like that they were a lot of fun and had a lot of experience with it. A lot of the higher level classes, for what I have seen, have been warriors, which was a little surprising because in the last test, it seemed like I wasn't in the last test, so I can't speak for everybody. But in the last test, it felt like warriors really weren't as popular. Or they weren't able to get off the ground with the way that they were training. And I don't know if the rush buff was that big for them, but there's a lot of high level warriors in this classic test. I don't even know if Dino's gone to bed since he's started playing. I think he's a level 55 fighter now at some point, something like that. This is something that I do want to mention. I like that in these training spots, people are, this might be an unpopular opinion, are putting up these little shops. And honestly, some of these training spots aren't too bad. yeah, honestly, it's just been kind of chill. Oh, look at that. We made a camera cut. This is the inside of the citizenship policies. I don't think that I actually took a look at the items that are in here, but this is some of the items you can buy. Yeah, so obviously could be able to get through this. Not enough time to unlock some of these other classes, although this would have been so helpful to get that. Maybe I just didn't try hard enough. I don't know. And then there's also a scroll seller. And honestly, not too bad. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this is that it is locked behind a daily. And every day at reset, there'll be a quest here for you to do. And sometimes it's as easy as talking to a resident. Other times it's farming items. Yesterday my daily was farming 100 red snails. I do not look forward to the day that I am playing this as like a level 70 bandit or something, and I have to come here and farm red snail shells. 100 of them, by the way. But they usually give pretty good rewards because they give some miso, they give some potions. I don't know if it scales with level. I hope it does, but other than that, it's not too bad. Anyway, back to classes. Definitely saw a lot of warriors, a lot of thieves. Definitely the magicians. Bishops got nerfed. I believe the holy symbol now revives and does not grant EXP anymore, and I think that the healing has been cut. And I do not think that they will be as prominent in the meta going forward. But other than that, I haven't seen too many other mages. So, something that bad. But I want to say that this archer has been one of the most struggling of characters that I have leveled up. It just, everything hits you, and I mean everything. Like, does it misses? Of course it does. But I'm pretty sure that I take probably an average of like 40 to 50 hits a day each time. And with the way that minions are, or mobs are in this game, they kind of stack each other up, and you get hit a lot over a short frequent of time, and you're not invincible for a long time. And I have died a lot because of that. And that has led to some of the bleeds. Also, this, whenever a monster is close to you, it's awful, because I don't think, and I may be wrong, assassins have to deal with that. And I think that that's huge for them, DPS wise, because so many times I had to reposition, like if I'm not like a map like HHE or a place like this where there's platforms and I could just whittle things down. I just have to move and take more damage and do more things, and it just became like a pain for this character. But I stuck with it. So that's my thoughts on the classes. I think archers probably need a buff somewhere. I think, well, one, they can't jump shoot, and I think that that should be something that they should get back, or get. And I think that they should be able to shoot freely, like that just feels so awful that that's the way that that works. But again, classic vibe. I'm not gonna hate it. Let's see, what else do I want to go with this? Okay, did not go to Forgotten Hollow, so I'm just gonna touch base on it here just verbally. From what I have seen with other content creators, which I'm not going to put myself in that list yet, is that it seems like a pretty good training area for like high 30s and probably mid 40s for what I've seen. And it doesn't seem too bad. I don't know too much about it to be able to fully like comment, so if you're gonna look for that, you're probably gonna need to look at another video. Sorry. Let's see. What's another thing? Oh, one of the things that I did. Well, I guess I'll say that for a little bit later. Potion economy. Potions, and we knew this coming in. Like it was going to be expensive. It always is expensive. Potions is where a large chunk of your miso go in the early game. Everything hits you for a lot. Everything heals for a lot. So you're trying to get the most cash reward out of your potions, and it just doesn't make sense with some of the way that the potions are priced versus the efficiency that you get in them. For example, in Beta 1, it was called the lemon meta because lemons appear to be the most cost efficient, 150 miso, 1 miso per 1 mana, which is not bad because there you get 150. And then meat was also very efficient, 160 HP, 2 HP per 1 miso. It's not bad at all. Whereas if you're looking like some things like white potions, for example, 300 miso for 350 HP. Like it just not equivalent enough to be there. 1.5 ratio based off of the HP based on that. So a lot of people have been running around with meat and lemons, and honestly I think that if you go back and look at some of the stuff that's inside of the citizen hole, I think that there is a good thing. That fried chicken is probably a good one. Hot dogs is probably a good pot. But pot economy is going to be a real thing that you're going to have to get used to. And that same reason is why I think that classes like Assassin, Bandit, and Warriors are kind of geared for more success, and why that they are the higher levels, because they have the ability, and I guess archers do too, so I can't really like talk about the archers too much, to just stand there and do this, just auto attack, and not have to use their resources in some places. Like assassins could just stand up here, shoot down at a minion down lower, and be fine, and not have to move, and not have to do anything. Warriors can kind of do that as well. There's all kinds of things that warriors can do to like try to save on potion efficiency, and I think that that's the main reason why a lot of those classes are positioned where they are at on the tier list, and why I think that archers are kind of on the low end right now. Let's see. Oh, I guess that's where kerning, like, we could talk about the kerning PQ. If you play test 1, you know that kerning PQ left a lot to be desired, and wasn't exactly an efficient way of being able to train. You didn't really get good drops that was worth the time, and the bonus wasn't good for you to stay on. So it was better for you to just go like farm and tree, or go do literally anything else other than KPQ. I'm not gonna say it's the same, but unless you just truly like doing KP, and I'm gonna say this with a grain of salt, I don't think that the iteration of KPQ that we have on here is going to be the iteration of KPQ that comes on live. And the reason why I say that is because this whole server is designed with the intention of having like more like party play in mind. So and KPQ is so iconic with that KPQ that you'll just see it, like there's just no way that it's not going to get like buffed in some way, or that this is the final iteration of it. That will be a huge deciding factor for a lot of people, because honestly that level 21 to 30 like wall without KPQ is pretty dry. There's not a whole lot. If they're not going to fix KPQ, they're probably going to need to put in another area or another training spot, or make it worth it to do KPQ with like better drops. I want to say that yesterday I did 9 KPQ runs, and of those 9 KPQ runs, I gained, this is just a run, not including the balance, I gained 15%. Yeah. 15% is... Now, I will say I had very fast parties that knew what they were doing. So, I guess if you think about it, it was 9 parties, 15%, probably took about 4 minutes each. 48 minutes for 15%. It does not exactly outpace grinding in the early levels. But it does seem like it did help a little bit, at least in some of the aspects of with it. But it just wasn't enough for me to justify being able to defend it, because like you're gaining like 2 to 3% a run, and then doing a bonus. I would say if you stay and do the bonuses, it might be worth it, because I would probably gain like 20 to 30% in bonuses if we decide to stay with them. The party that we were doing yesterday was like semi-rush, so it was do the PQ, 5 minutes of bonus, leave. But the PQs I did before that, we would do the entire PQ, and then we would go into the next one. Alright, sorry about that. Also, KPQ, I think the bonus is probably the best part of the PQ, because I think that you can probably sit there and get 15-20% if you stay in the entire time, especially since there's no cooldown in between PQs. So that's probably the most efficient way of being able to train it if you're going to be doing that way, and it's still probably a little bit faster, and you do get drops. Plus, I also think that it is the best way to make money back on your economy for your potions, because horny mushrooms and green mushrooms, their caps, horny mushrooms sell for 22, and the green caps sell for 14. And you'll probably get, if you're clearing efficiently enough and are not like AFK and like doing just like your normal like platforms, you'll probably get somewhere around like 50 to 60 of them each, and that alone will give you probably about 3k worth of gold that you'd be able to use towards pots whenever you exit. So it's very potion efficient. Like I did several BQs without even using any skills to come out positive. So I'll say that is a plus side to it. They need to nerf King Slime. King Slime is currently doing 600 damage a hit in the body, not just in his Earthquake. And right now people are just waiting for mobs to respawn and just killing the mobs and then turning in the quests. Which isn't a big deal, it just kind of takes the fun out of the PQ. But I do think that they need to buff that real quick, and I will add this onto this section with current PQ, is that I do think there is a world to where we could get Hennessy's PQ, And I think that would definitely help out with some more like early level woes that a lot of players have. But I don't want it to start feeling like too modern, because again, the whole appeal of Classic that everybody talks about was, oh man, I love when it used to take me 3 weeks to get to level 30, or it used to take me a year to get to level 70, and like a lot of people like that feeling, and I don't blame them. But I can also see the world where people just want to kind of like rush and get to the next step, and that's where like PQs, like Kinesis PQ, come in, because you can. And I don't even care if it's like a really like a nerf version. You don't have to do the 1600 EXP per run version, but like it gives another alternative if you don't want to grind. Then what's the last thing for me to touch on? Quests. So as you can see, I have pretty much 100% of my quests that are available for me so far. The only quests I have not done are quests that are impossible to stop to do, which is Betty's research on plants, because the samples are just not dropping right now. And I have not done the jump quest, but I do plan on doing the jump quest at some point today, just to say that I have 100%ed it to the best of my ability. But I think the quests, honestly, like are very well timed where they come in at, and do give good EXP. I think almost every quest that comes out now gives Miso after like level 15. But I will say, a lot of these quests are extremely repetitive, and I mean like a lot of quests about farming, getting tree branches, getting ore, getting snail shells, getting leaves, killing dark stumps, killing red stumps, killing, like, it just, a lot of repetitiveness, which can lead into kind of like that weird feeling of FOMO. But with that being said, I think that they did a good job with the quest lines. I think they could probably buff the EXP a little bit more, to make it like a true feeling of like you've accomplished something, and that it would go a long way. Like maybe even like, I don't know, like some of the early quests are more like potion based, and you get more potions or early levels, and later quests are more gear based, and you get more gear like shoes or gloves or hats or something like that, and it's able to help progress your character in the long run, or help mitigate on some costs. I would probably say need to look more to like the potion range, because that's where it should come in. But I do think that the quests are in a good spot. I think that honestly, everything that I've done in this test has been a good experience, and I will definitely be looking forward to playing Classic when it releases. I don't know if I will be releasing a video for the 100 job spam, because honestly, I don't know if I care about third job that much, because it'll probably change before we get there anyway, as a more casual like player. But that is the thing that I want to say. You see my Maplestory for 50 hours pop up. But that being said, that's all I really have to say about this. The only other thing that I would say that I probably would change is that I would probably cut potions and costs in half inside of the stores and make them just overall more affordable. But that being said, those are my thoughts on the Classic Beta Test and what I have done, and I hope that it continues at a good path. It's overwhelming, because overall I am at a 7.5 out of 8 with where it is currently at right now. There are some annoying aspects, but I think that once you get established and you get it along, and you start coming out ahead on your pot economy and your miso economy, and you're more set up. Because once I did end up getting more gear, I was able to start making more money, I think that you'll be better equipped going forward with your characters. So that being said, thank you for watching, and we'll see if we post another video before this ends. Again, I doubt it, but we'll see you Classic if this is more your speed. But keep an eye on the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Should have more stuff coming soon. Thank you. See ya.